right, detectives are on the case again. We got another True Detective. Actually, it's in the books now, and it was a good season, and I'll get into that in a minute. But let's start off here with the plot, not from IMDb this time, from HBO, I guess. Here's the plot of this one. When the long winter night falls in Ennis, Alaska, the 8 men who operate the Tsalal Arctic Research Station vanish without a trace. To solve the case, detectives Liz Danvers and Evangeline Navarro will have to confront the darkness they carry in themselves and dig into the haunted truths that lie buried under the internal ice. All right, lots to be said there. Again, this is on HBO for those who may not know, in case you don't know. And it was season 4. Long break. I think, what was it, 2012 or 14, something like that, since the last True Detective. I don't really know what their problem is and why they have to take so long in doing these series, because I'd have to say overall all of them have been pretty good. I don't know, I don't remember, it's been so long, if I reviewed any of the other ones. Maybe I'll do a search on the site before I post this, just out of my own curiosity. But I have a feeling I have not. So this might be the first one I've actually done an official review for. But I will say, if you do get a chance to find the other ones, which, I had looked for the other ones and I had a hard time finding them, but I'm sure they're out there somewhere with all the streamings and so forth. If you do run into it, it is a good series to watch, kind of if you're into true crime. And they usually have some good actors starring in them. So that also helps a lot. Unless you're somebody who likes the unfamiliar faces, which sometimes is a way to go. But this series usually has someone, or at least a pairing that you're familiar with. But anyways, let's get to the point here. I'm not going to hide it and make you guys wait to see how many pools of blood at the end. Well, at least the official score at the end. But I will say, I think I said it even at the top. I liked it. Everybody seems to like it. I don't think I've seen too many people complaining about it, too many people who didn't like it. It did really well in the ratings, and it's apparently done so well they are going to do a 5th season of the show. So there you have it. While they took their sweet ass time with some of the other ones, it looks like they are on the ball here, and we will get a 5th season. When, I don't know. I didn't read that far into it, but at least there will be a 5th season. So I wouldn't hold my breath for this year. Maybe next year, or maybe they do decide to just hold off and wait a couple of years. I don't know what their problem is here. But anyway, as far as this one goes, Jodie Foster mentioned familiar faces. She's the real familiar face here, and she is just fantastic in this. She is quite a character. She plays quite a character. She is the lead sheriff here, in this very small town. And she's just, she don't want to take no shit from anybody. And, she's going to do things her way. And, just there are a lot of great interactions between the characters. But, she's quite the character, interacting with anybody. Even in major scenes, maybe some smaller scenes. It's just a fun time watching her go at it, and she's just so small compared to most of the other people in the show. It's crazy, but don't mistake her smallness. The she plays, opposite Kaylee Reis, if I said that right, who plays Navarro, which is the other detective here. And they're, real opposites. They don't really like each other. They're paired together. It's a on again, off again pairing. And these two women who we find out as it goes, had some past experience. And that's kind of the way the series is, or this, I believe it was 6 episodes. And, approximately an hour, give or take, each episode. And I should say, since this is obviously new and just finished, maybe there's some of you out there who haven't seen this. I'll keep this fairly spoiler-free, get into just a little bit of it here. But yeah, we learn a lot about the women as we go. There are things that happened in their past. They have a past together. They were paired up before they really got to the point they are now. And they were a team that's since separated. They have an issue. They have a history. There's things that you're going to see. There's a history that they're going to continue to go back to, that you'll find out more, and plays a role in their current investigation, and how they're handling things, and how their relationship is as it goes. So, and each of them, as it kind of hints in the summary there, have demons, have issues of their own to deal with, and that is also going to plague them in the investigation, and it kind of adds to their character, gives them depth, and just gives you something to learn about them also as it goes. So yeah, the current investigation is twofold. There's the mention, obviously, in the summary there about the scientists that have gone missing and up in this station, and there's a very interesting take on them and what's happened to them. And it says they vanished, but not too big of a spoiler here, but you're gonna kind of find out what happens to them fairly quickly, and at least as far as them vanishing, what truly happened to them and how what's gone on with them. That's the greater mystery here. And it is also going to tie in with a second case, and they don't really mention it here, but there's a second case of a young woman who passed away years ago, and that's one that Navarro was working before, and it's kind of an unsolved mystery. So for those of you who like true crime, this is a good a series for you. Because you have not only a current investigation going on, you have an investigation that's a cold case, basically. And, so you kind of get them kind of running at the same time. And that's kind of how the two kind of women come together, basically, over this old case and this new one. And you're going to find that there's some overlapping there. And basically, to solve one, you have to solve the other. And vice versa. So that's going to play a role in everything. So you have a couple other characters here. Another policeman who's a young one, and but he's basically puts everything on hold to be at Danvers' beck and call. He even puts his family life at home. You'll see the struggle there. He basically says yes to anything she needs and whatever, and she relies a lot on him. And then he's got his father who also works there, and later you're going to see even Danvers' boss, the person who actually put her there in that position, and a couple other characters. She has a daughter there as well, and you're going to see a mixture of family conversation. She has her daughter. You're going to see flashbacks of her past life, and then you're going to see Navarro's struggles. She's not really with a family, but she is with a man on and off, sort of, and she's definitely struggling in her own right. to find her place. And she's not the only one. There are going to be other people who struggle, and that's going to be another issue that's happening here. And one of the things that I like here is, obviously it's a little bit different. This is not a horror movie per se. There is, some horrorness to it. I don't want to say too much, get into spoilers here. They definitely leave mystery and a lot of darkness. But I like that it's in Alaska. I like the winter is a different thing. We don't see too much horror in this kind of cold and frigid conditions. It adds a darkness and the way everything is shot. You have some very nice backgrounds, and others that are very the abyss there. It is just dark. This is during basically the time when the sun sets, and they're in darkness. Remember the horror movie 30 Days of Night? This is basically it. This is the span of going. It goes like, I don't know if it went the whole 30 days, but it went, I think, at least 2 weeks or so into this night and dark. So everything is dark. So it's great for horror. It is a great setting. Sometimes it's snowing. Sometimes it's just cold and dark. You get the bluish background, so it's very nice to look at. And on top of that, then we have also a theme of indigenous people here. They're very set in their traditions. They have a way of doing things and a way that they believe and handle things and so forth. Navarro is part of that world, but also not part of that world. So she kind of struggles with the back and forth a little bit there within herself. There's always that spirit kind of world, religion, whatever you want to call it, atmosphere that kind of always brings when you have the indigenous people involved, and they have that strong here as well. So it adds a great layer of mystery to it, and definitely adds to that, like I said, horror feel of it, and you're gonna kind of go back and forth between is something just regular human happening here? Is it something, a spirit, a ghost, a creature? That kind of is always lingering there as well. They play off that feel that there's something else also, around watching there. So it is a good combination of a lot of things here. You got your true crime, you got your mystery, you kind of got your ghost spirit kind of thing going on, and maybe other stuff. And throw in a little bit of blood and guts here, and you have like I said, mystery, a case to solve, and some backstabbing and twists and turns that are going to be revealed as it goes on. As far as where it ends without giving away anything, it was okay. I think it makes the point. Having this kind of series and having the characters and people involved in it kind of also makes a point. There's obviously sorry, a little bit of social commentary, or whatever commentary, as you might expect in there to be said. You can look at all 6 episodes and as one. Obviously, there's commentary on the indigenous people and how they're treated, the environment, women in general, whether they're indigenous or not, and just the power struggle between different people in here. So there's a lot of that as well, and I think the ending kind of, without going too far into it, you kind of see it. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I was blown away by the ending. It's kind of almost what I expected, because this is on HBO. It's True Detective. It leaned in a certain direction, and as a horror fan, you may want it to go to that direction, but then when it ends, you kind of bring it back to at least for me, brought it back to myself. I was like, okay, well, this is kind of what I expected ending that I expected when I knew that I was going to watch this. So I can't be too upset about it. Maybe I would have preferred something else. But it is what it is, and you just gotta come back to that. But regardless, it is, like I said, it gives you a lot of the things that I mentioned, and it's definitely worth watching. It's not long. I wish it was. I'm not gonna say they missed anything or needed to add anything, but I kind of wish, after being gone so long, that they had a little more than 6 episodes to give us. But it is what it is. Maybe next time they'll give us more. I don't remember offhand, and I didn't look to see how many episodes the previous season's episodes were. It's not tremendously long. If they were 6, or I would guess 10 at max, maybe. I don't know. You just kind of want more after such a long time. And once it kind of ends, you're kind of like, oh, it's over already, damn. But we'll see. It's still a lot there. So, like I said, if you're a fan of any of those things that I mentioned, you'll hopefully enjoy this. And I fully expect a lot of you that are maybe watching this to have seen this already. I again don't want to give any spoilers and whatever, but if you do want to talk about other things that might spoil or whatever, you guys know where, I'll go through where you can find me, and we can talk about it. But I don't really want to jump into that. Keep it for the few who haven't seen it, but definitely recommend you see it. I would give it 4 pools of blood out of 5. It's always tough with series, and I'm not really comparing that to any of the previous seasons. I it's been so long I can't even remember real specifics of some of the other ones. I will like I said earlier, if you haven't seen any of the True Detectives, and you can find the other ones, I definitely recommend watching them. Whether you like them or not, that'll be up to you. Again, I couldn't remember enough specifics to tell you about them and what I liked or disliked. I'd also have to go back and watch them. But I do know that they were worth watching, and this one definitely as well. So if you haven't seen it, one of the few that haven't seen it, hopefully I didn't spoil anything. Hopefully I gave you a good grasp of what's going on and why you should watch this. And if you do, hopefully you'll like it. Again, this is on HBO, and some of you may not have a HBO, but I'm sure it will become a little bit more widely available. And I don't know if it's going to go on DVD or whatever, but hopefully you'll find a way to catch it at some point. So again, that's going to be 4 pools of blood out of 5 for this season, and not in comparison to any other seasons. It's just this one. So with that, horrorscorereviews.blogspot.com is where you can find all of my reviews, written and video, of course, here on the channel. You can find most of my more recent reviews. Most of them have been video, so you can like and subscribe if you want, and do all those things that everybody wants you to do here on YouTube. If not, no worries. I thank you for your time regardless. But if you get a chance, definitely swing over to the shorts. Check them out. Little bit of combination of fun and giving you guys some information, courtesy of Promote Horror, a lot of it. Probably giving you a little bit more of the informational kind of things now. I try to swing back to getting, doing a little more fun things as well. But that's just where it is right now. Twitter, Facebook information down below as well. Feel free to reach out to me there. We can talk about the show, the series. Again, if you want to talk about anything a little bit more spoilerish with the series, we can talk there. It might be better. Maybe just ruin it for other people, but whatever. That's their fault for chiming in. And then down in the comments section, definitely, if you have to and you want to comment there about something, even if it's spoilerish, feel free to there. We can talk. And if you guys have anything about the previous seasons, or where to, if anybody should be watching them, or thoughts on those, feel free to throw that in as well. It's fine. So yeah, with that, I guess I will catch you on the next review, horror fans.